will still start to share my slide so that we can discuss Thrive with Babs. So, okay, here I am. Sorry, I'm sweating because I'm taking out coffee. Please let me know if you can see my screen. And then I go to slideshow and start from the beginning. Great. Okay, so welcome everybody once again to the first edition of Thrive with Babs for the year 2024. This is the 32nd edition of Thrive with Babs that we are having. I know I was actually acknowledging at the go earlier. We started Thrive with Babs as a physical session in our office there at Ilupeju, Lagos. And you know, at the go was one of those the inaugural class of Thrive with Babs participants. And you know, I mean, it's been with us for so many years. When we now transited to this virtual session, is still been coming. And you know, I really want to say thank you very much at the group for coming month in, month out. At the go and I think Moses Agubiade, who's presently in the UK, it's a big boy in the UK now. Moses too joins from time to time. But I mean, I think the last time I discussed, said that maybe he doesn't get the reminder, it's not so current on WhatsApp. So maybe what I would do, maybe if you can ask me, I can send you his number that is much more active on, because he too also like to join us. He's been joining us since in the UK. So at the go and Moses was like the second generation of drivers. And then when we now stopped at some point and we moved to virtual, and then we've been doing virtual since. So the topic we're discussing today is 3 ways to make your 2024 phenomenal. Please, you pardon my voice and my sneezing because I've had this flu for like some days now, so I believe it's getting better. So just pardon me, please, as if you don't hear me properly, just indicate so I can maybe repeat myself. So, as I said, this is the 32nd edition of Thrive with Babs. I can see many champions have been birthed from this process of Thrive with Babs. We've explored different issues. Many people have come to maybe locate their own places in life, locate their calling, and then, I mean, and you know, they are doing fantastically well in the different endeavors. I'm glad when I hear some of those success stories and you know, I just wish them all the best in what they do. So, but you know, we still have to continue doing what we need to do so that because to me, the greatest joy that I derive in life is being able to help people, being able to impart people, be able to help people to become better, think better, reason better, engage better, perform better, and you know, do things generally better. And that is what informs some of the things we do in the Ready Writers Consult or TRW Consult, even in terms of Thrive with Babs. We want to make the society better. I want to make individuals better. I want everybody to have an improved profile at the end of the day and to improve your outcomes generally. These are the topics we've treated over time. Self-identity and definition was the very first. And then we had these very lengthy sessions on purpose. And so you can see some of the topics we've treated over the years on Thrive with Babs. And the last topic we look at was we explored this 5-series topic on the road to wealth. How do you start or embark on the journey to wealth, starting from zero? I think we started from zero to something. So how do you start from point zero to something? And you know, that's the series we ended in November. Some of the episodes will be available on YouTube very soon. I believe by February we should have them all on YouTube. I will tell you where you can download them from. Some of them will be on my site, some obviously on YouTube, and maybe other digital platforms that will decide to share them. So at least you can get to see some of them as the case may be. So in terms of reference, I'm also not I'm not omniscient. I'm not an authority on everything. So I also have to consult references, texts, experiences, and then even life case scenarios to develop some of these topics, some of the points under it. But in terms of if there's any major reference, it's usually the Bible, because I'm Christian, and I've read the Bible a number of times. So I think I have a bit of a good grasp of some of the teachings of it. And no, I don't, when I talk Bible, I don't talk Bible as a preacher. I talk it because thankfully I have a literature background. So I've learned to analyze everything from a literary perspective. So I engage the Bible as a body of literature. If I'm in religious, I can engage it as a religious text. But in terms of literature, it's one of the main references we use in tribal verbs, and because it's enduring, it's been around for so long, it's universally applicable. And then, the scenarios there are something that most of us can relate to. Talking of greed, what happens to a greedy person? What happens to a wicked person? What happens to somebody who is pious, who is God-fearing? We can draw from all these lessons, cutting across religions. So, and that is one of the reasons why, because if we use somebody's life, for instance, they can sue us. Why are you talking about me? But once a book is over 100 years old, we can use that book without getting copyright infringement notification or being sanctioned for it. So in terms of the last session, we talked about the X factor of wealth and prosperity. Talk about the X factor of wealth and prosperity, and then we started with defining what X factor means. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to me? And one of the I said my own personal definition of X factor is that one thing that can cause a dramatic and significant impact with long-term effects. It will cause a very dramatic and significant, impact on anything that you're doing. And then that gives you a dramatic significance that is also very positive anyway, in terms of what you're trying to achieve. And then we ask a very fundamental question: why do the poor remain poor? And why do the rich keep getting rich? And there was a picture that was used with that question, and we saw the picture of somebody doing this, and that is to give us, okay, the poor, they keep being poor because of certain choices and decisions that they make, while the rich keep getting rich because of certain principles that they also deploy. And then we talk about the principle of seed and harvest, principle of multiplication. The person who has more keeps getting more. That's the way life is not fair. That is not a fair rule, but that is just the way life works. Whoever has more keeps getting more. Whoever doesn't have enough does still end up not having enough until the person changes, even in terms of his mentality or a thinking or operation. And then the principle of zero multiplied by zero. If you have zero and multiply zero by zero, you still get zero. And that is what makes the poor remain poor. Then we also talk about the principle of seed and harvest. So I think maybe there's a mix-up here in this slide. That's also one of the things that, I think I mentioned that just some minutes ago, that ensure that the rich keep getting rich. Then we look at top 10 philanthropists in the world, top 10 philanthropists. We saw what was it called? I mean, the how much they've given. People that have given billions, but they don't even know their names. They've given billions of dollars to charitable causes, and they are among the world's wealthiest people. And because what we're trying to drive home is that the X factor to prosperity and wealth is charity, is giving, charity. And I also cited, a personal example of mine, giving ₦1 million, and what happened. I think that document was also shared in the. Please, I think I did I make you co-host? Please, can help us to just be updating as a comment. So
yes, I've been doing that, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So, and giving ₦1 million, and that led to series of fortune, personal fortune, business fortune, family fortune, just by giving ₦1 million. A singular one, and that is not just okay. That's okay. That's all I've given. But the point is that this thing works, and then we did a take home. We always have take away or take home from what's it called, from private bars where we talk to start cultivating the habit of giving, no matter how small. The poor keep remaining poor because they think they don't have enough for themselves. So why should they give from the little they have? So if you don't give, you can't receive, because there's a principle of seed and harvest that governs the world. That one is not a religious teaching. It's a fundamental principle. If you think I don't have enough, why should I give from? I don't have. I should. If you keep thinking that way, then you are opening yourself to receive. So the take home was start giving, and then the second, you start giving at least from 10%. Don't give 5%. Give at least 10%. Start with at least 10%. For those of us who go to church, we call it tithe. For those who are who of the Islamic faith, I think it's called zakah. So and for those with other, is that 10% is a universal. It's not a religious doctrine. It's a universal principle of giving. You start at least with 10%. But because in our own part of the world, we are so religious, everything must bring it to religiosity, we must tie to, because before people can even buy it. And that's why I say that people preach too much about tithe. You don't even need to preach about it. It's a fundamental principle of giving. 10% of what you earn does not belong to you. It belongs to the universe. It belongs to God. It belongs to people. And nobody is too poor not to give 10%. Even if it's 10 naira you are given or you have, give 1 naira. It's not 1 naira on your own. It's not your own. It belongs to the universe. It belongs to the poor. It belongs to your association, to your religious institution where you worship. And I don't know how many of us have started this principle since discussed in November. Now, today we want to talk about the 3 things you need to do to make your 2024 phenomenal. Just 3 things. It's a very short session. We are going to be out of here very, very soon, because I also need to go and rest my voice for the week. I think I even have another meeting after this one, so I need to also conserve energy for that meeting. So we can say it's a sharing session. It's not a monologue. I want to also learn from what you guys are saying, from your reasoning, from your insights, from your experiences. So we usually start with your insights, and then if there's any other thing you want to add while I'm going on, please feel free to say them so that we can all learn from you. It's a live sharing session. So what 3 things do you think you need to do to make your 2024 like no other year before? Anybody willing to share with us? Have you thought about what are the 3 things you need to do that will make your 2024 phenomenal, make it like no other year you've ever lived in? Anybody willing to share with us? Because it's a sharing session, there's no wrong answer. What matters to you will not matter to me. And that doesn't mean that it is wrong. So there's no wrong answer in answering this question. Please, anybody willing to share with us? What do you think are the 3 things?
Sorry, sir. I think I'm the first to unmute myself.
Okay.
Tagaline
Thank you. It's great.
having a look at this very, very particular issue, like some of the things make do with to make 2024 a really phenomenal year. One has to do with like setting out principles you get, and then believing in yourself. Like accept what you can do and then reject what you know you cannot do. Do not just accept and say, yes, I can do. And then when that very particular thing is needed, you are not even done with, you are not even close to doing. Know your strengths and then know your weaknesses. I think through this part, one can make this 2024 really, really phenomenal year, because I believe like through all these sessions, you make us understand like the importance of savings, the importance of building up, and then setting up career goals to all of that. So now it just has to just do with decision making. Decision making really, really matters in making this 2024 a phenomenal year. At some point, we always want to say, yes, we can, yes, we can. But it's not everything that you say, yes, you can to. There are certain things that definitely you know that time, space, engagement will not allow you to be able to achieve. Do not accept. Learn how to say no. You mustn't just say no like radically, but you can say no in a convincing manner that will make someone feel not offended. Know how to give excuses. Do not give excuses in such a way that will make someone feel like you are incapable. That will make the person not want to reach out to you the next time. The fact that you're not available at this very particular moment doesn't mean that you will not be available at the next opportunity.
That's true.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Very much, Linus. I believe joining us from Jos for that very detailed and the captivating account of what are the things you need to do. I think the variety thing Zala was talking about is decision making. He said, set principles that will guide your year. Know what you can accept. Know what you can do without. I can accept this. I can't take this. And then know your strengths and weaknesses. Engage more. And thank you very much, Linus, for those very beautiful insights. Any other person we need to share with us? What are the 3 things you think you need to do to make your 20? And if you cannot be, is there any of these that you've done before? And did you get any result as a result of doing them? Any other person we need to share with us, please? Yes.
And hello, everyone.
Hi.
Yes, I'm Kende Adigwe, and I'd like to make a little contribution to this questions. So for me, and I think it's some of the things that stood out for me in the beginning of the year, 3 things that I think I need to take more seriously has been discipline, focus, and consistency.
Wow.
So discipline, focus, and consistency. And I realized that in areas of my life where I stuck to these 3 things, I was able to get tremendous results. When I had 1 or 2 projects in my hands that I just I had to finish this. I had to discipline myself to get it done. And the result at the end of it, I'm reaping the fruit of it even this year, this first month of January. So I know that it can go a long way when you just give no room for, like the other speaker said, like, yes, the other colleague said, no room for excuses when something has to be done, especially when you know that in the long term you will reap the benefits. So for example, when you're hot to take time to study, get a new skill, you don't, there are a lot of things that will call for attention and I will want to take your eyes off the ball, like make you lose focus. But when you discipline yourself and you stick with it, consistent with the process to get the results, I think a lot can be achieved. So I think that's it for me. Thank you.
Very much kindly for that. Also very cogent one. Talk of discipline, focus, and consistency. In fact, the three of them are actually still discipline, but you now also still try to clarify them in details, how you even apply them to your different situation and the results that they will produce for you. Just like Jim Rohn says, discipline is the bridge between dreams or desires and success. All of us have desires, all of us have dreams, but there's this huge gap or chasm between our desires, our dream, and achieving them. And the bridge to that from destination A to Z is discipline. It's very important. Discipline. I mean, it's easy to say than to practice. I'm glad that you are actually mentioning that. And in the world of success, there's nothing like discipline. In fact, success and discipline goes hand in hand. Whoever you see that is successful is because they've been disciplined enough to pay the price, to do what they need to do, just like Linus also said, to do what they need to do in that area. And then they reap the reward of discipline. And how come we started together, we did this, did they sleep with the boss, did they do this and all that? It's discipline. And it's very, very critical to success. Thanks for that. Kehinde, what other persons we need to share with us? We'll take one more before we proceed to, I want to see if there's a comment here that I missed. Okay. Any other person? I will proceed to the next slide. So, to pause and ponder for our meditation. So, life as it is, all of us, we are exposed to various information, to various feelings, to various vagaries of life. And dogma, that's something that I particularly like to challenge dogma. See a lot of dogmatic beliefs that actually even determining the way we interpret life, we will interpret success, we will interpret relationship, we will interpret what is happening to us based on what somebody feels, somebody says, not based on the rule, not based on the creed. Creed meanings for those of us who subscribe to religion, creed are your Bible, your Quran, your Torah, your Ifa, because Ifa too Ifa is a scripture to some people, has these verses that people that follow that. So those are creed, not what the creed is saying, but what you feel is the truth. So when we allow ourselves to be caged by self, by dogma of fellow humans, it becomes difficult to manifest our potential. What somebody is saying, what somebody has said. There's this popular saying, say heaven helps those who help themselves. Heaven, how many of us believe that? That heaven helps those who help themselves. Anyone? I'm sure all of us have heard that saying before, haven't you?
I believe that, sir.
I know. And somebody say, okay, well, according to the Bible, heaven helps those who help themselves. And that is a dogma.
I don't think it's a biblical statement.
It's not biblical. And it's even fallacy. Heaven does not help those who help themselves. Heaven helps those who need help, who cry for help. It's as simple as that. Why would heaven help if you can help yourself? It doesn't sound rational. It's just one of those things that motivational speakers say to us. Why do you need help if you can help yourself? If yourself, even think about it. Why should God help you if you can help yourself to do it? So God only helps those who cry for help, those who need help. And that is what the scriptures say. But because that saying has been around for so long, and there are so many of them, that's a dogma. There are so many of them like that will just say, and then we believe, everyone helps us to help themselves. So, and then those are the things that actually restrict us, because, for instance, they are not founded in truth, in reality. So if it's not true, if it's not realistic, it won't work. And these are said to us by people, by our own experiences, by situations around us in the country. And then we just tend to believe that is our reality. And then, when we restrict ourselves from doing what we should do, from achieving our full potential, because we are being held back by lies. Lies that we told ourselves, oh, I can't do it. I can never fly. I can never do this. And we tell ourselves this, and then we hold ourselves down by it. So when we are talking in terms of freedom, want to manifest, be the best you can be, you are looking in terms of outward. Nothing is outward in projection. Nothing restraining you. Inward is a bit restrictive. And that is not for those who are introverted, because myself, I'm introverted. But it's not restrictive. When you're talking of expression success, it has to be something, it gives you that sense of an outward manifestation, outward expression of potential, of gifts, of talent, of strengths. And then, they don't happen. There must be a degree of struggles, either internal or external. I'm sure all of us have heard the story of the moth that becomes a butterfly. The kind of struggle that goes through before it now becomes a caterpillar and all that, before it now becomes a butterfly. Kind of struggle, the kind of pain. That is what success looks like. Success doesn't come to anyone easily. If it's too easy, it will filter out with time. To filter out. So anything that is going to be sustainable, that is going to last, will take some degree of pains, some degree of sacrifice, some degree of discipline. Just like Kennedy, just told us, discipline, focus, grit, consistency. We are doing them consistently every single day, every single time, every single week, every single month, every single year. So these are like the opening thoughts. And for this, the number one thing that we're talking about is you need to step out. So these things are very simple stuff. So I'm not coming with any magical. They are just the basic truths that we've been hearing, we've told ourselves, or we ourselves, we know. It's not any, no, according to Martin Luther King, or it's not some heavy research. These are just basic principles, basic things that you and I, we know about that we just need to do. You cannot reach your full potential unless you step out. You have to step out of your comfort zone. What now? Your comfort zone will not be mine. So I need to ask myself, you need to ask yourself, what is my comfort zone? I have been doing this thing, I can do 100 in 1 hour. And I've been doing 100 for 5 years. And that has become, as people are struggling to even do 50. Now me, I can do 100. And everybody, wow, good. And then people are celebrating me, they're celebrating. But I know I can actually step out of that 100 and start to do more. I can do more. I can be more. I can have more. So we need to discard those mentality and start to step out of those comfort zone, those that we've been doing over time that we seem to have mastered well. And then we feel, and people are praising us, oh, you are doing fantastic and all that. We've got to step out, move on to greater things. Move on to greater things in 2024. Move on to greater things. I already have a major project I'm going to pursue in year 2024. I'm getting scared, really. I said, geez, this thing is so much more than the other time. I think I saw my wife here earlier. Well, just one of those night stuff. I was just scribbling down. It was coming to me as a blog idea. From blogging, is now becoming something major, something international. A project. I was like, geez, this is not. I'm already talking of board of trustees. We're talking of fund managers. I mean, an international project. And I was like, no, I just wanted to do a blog. But blog has been my comfort zone. I need to step out of blog mentality because I'm looking for Google earnings. And already, till last night, I was still now, and now to now start putting from WhatsApp where I dropped the note, I have to now start putting it on my system, typing that I will need this, I will this. What am I going to talk about? And this project and it just keep coming. And I was like, okay, let me just do blog and not put information there and then. But say, no, I have to step out of my comfort zone. You have to move. People may be praising you, but hey, see, don't let people's praise just fool you, please. You have to demand more for yourself, from yourself. Step out of those boundaries that you've already, that maybe you're the one that has the world record. That doesn't mean that you can't set another record. And look at tortoise, it will not make progress if it doesn't stick his head out. And sticking his head out comes with risk because somebody can match it, somebody can cut the head, things can happen. So the tortoise is most comfortable, most secure inside his shell. It's most secure inside his shell. But inside the shell, the tortoise can never make progress. It will only be becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. But for tortoise to make a progress, it must stick out its head, its legs, and its arms to start moving forward. That's the way it applies to us as human beings. You must step out of your comfort zone, of your shell. Now, for those of you who are my brothers and sisters in introversion, I'm also an introvert. I can be in my own company for weeks, and I won't feel any need to interact. But hey, that doesn't mean that you cannot interact. I'm still the one doing this. Even though I would rather be left alone. So that you have to step out. If you've been doing 1,000, now it's the time for you to start planning to do 2,000. Start planning to do 2,000. You must step out. You must do much more. Step out of your comfort zone. Elevate your level of reasoning. Step out from what has been working to explore something newer. And the second step is you have to reach out. In as much as you are stepping out, you also have to reach out for help. Reach out to people that you need, for in terms of maybe network, resources, assistance, collaboration. Reach out. Nobody can achieve success on their own. There's nothing like a self-made person. Everybody feeds on somebody to become successful. Leverages on the strengths of other people to attain success. So you've got to reach out to people, got to reach out to resources that you need. Fortune does not favor the taciturn. In fact, there's a Yoruba proverb that says that the person that remains taciturn, his own issues, our problems will remain taciturn with him or her. That is Entubadake, Tagayabadake. There's another very important one. I said that inability to talk, to express yourself and say what you want, what you don't like, is the beginning of misfortune. So all this very, very conquer. So I sorrow. That is not being able to talk, to say, hey, I don't like this. Oh, let's continue doing this. That's the beginning of misfortune. So you see that fortune and misfortune is tied to our tongue. That's why I think even the Bible says that the power of life and death is in the tongue. Africans believe that misfortune and fortune are also tied to the tongue. So you've got to be able to, you can't reach out for help, you can't reach out for resources if you don't ask, if you don't speak out. You can't continue to die in silence, continue to suffer in silence. And some of us will be beefing people, we'll be beefing your uncle, your auntie, your friend, and don't they know that I need this thing? Don't they know that I'm starting this project? Do you know what the other person is going through, what is going through the person's mind? You need something, you ask for it, if they can give you, they give you. If they can't, they tell you to talk to somebody else. Not that you will not be beefing the person. Don't they know my situation? Why should they know? Should your case be what your friends or your colleagues or your spouse or whatever be meditating on their whatever all day long? You've got to speak out, you've got to reach out, you've got to express yourself, say what you want. You've got to identify the person or associations that can enhance you, that can enable you to accomplish your aim. And then you reach out to them. And see, it would be a grave mistake to think it's just people alone. Yes, people are the greatest asset that any of us can have. People are the greatest asset. Meanwhile, it's not just people alone. Books, information are also resources that can help us. Information, books, associations. It doesn't have to be people. Most of us will just think there must be somebody I must connect one person to achieve success. No way. It's not just human beings alone. That is just one aspect of them. There are things you need to, that you can get just by reading a blog article, by reading a book. It's not you talk to somebody that they must help me. You can help yourself by reading. In fact, I believe, and it's one of my quotes, that God will not answer you when you already have the answer. If you are praying, God, I need money, I need money, I need money, and you already have money. Why should God give you money? I know God is omniscient. He knows everything. If you have some money saved somewhere, and then you now need money for, give me money, somebody go, and you have that money kept. So you use the money now. Maybe the time for that one is not coming. You have it, you can replace it back. Why should He give you when you already have the answer? God will not give you when you already have the answer. He will not answer you. So when we are praying, and we are not seeing answers to our prayers, because we are praying amiss. Maybe because we already have what we need, what we are asking for. And God cannot be fooled. He's omniscient. He knows everything. He knows everything. So He can't be fooled. He can only fool our fellow humans. So search for what do you have. It's not in terms of people alone. Information. Even if somebody will help you and you have not helped yourself by knowing the information that you need to do, to know to do what you need to do sustainably, the person will feel at it. So we've got to reach out, connect to resources, to people, to resources, information, associations. For those of you in the internship, you have this very vast network of friends. Some of them you didn't know before. Now they are your friends, they are your network. You can learn from one another. You can learn one another's strengths and weaknesses. That's the way life works. You can collaborate on projects. That's the way life works. Last week I was talking about, last week when we had our meeting at the LRF, I was talking about this friend of mine, went to, it wasn't even in UI. I went to UI, he went to, then it was called UNAD, University of Ado-Ekiti. It was called UNAD. By some stroke of fortune, I was, people are always coming to that, my department in English, in UI for research and all that, because it's the first one, has more books than most of them. So he came. I mean, Chewolani just came down, and we hit it off. Oh, he was secretary or was the PRO, and we hit it off. And I was president. So we started talking and we became friends. That was in 1998 or 1999. Became friends. Oh, and from there, there was not even GSM then. There was nothing like mobile phone. So it's when it comes that we see. I don't even go there because they are always coming around. Then we want to plan. We plan there to have this national conference of students in the same department all over the country. That didn't work out. But we remain friends. He will come, we will talk. There was a time I had to go to their side, and I went there. I went to Ado-Ekiti, attended the program that they and we became friends since then. When we graduated from school, he was in Globalcom. From Globalcom, he joined First Bank. From First Bank to Stanbic IBTC, and then we lost contact for some years. Then the next I had, he just called me. Oh, he was in the US. How are you and all that? So when there was a foundation we started, LRF yesterday, you guys were there now. So we were there. Oh, we started this LRF foundation. Okay. I was okay. This guy also, he loves literature. So I just, hey, I'm starting this initiative. Do you mind joining us and being on the board of trustees? Oh, fantastic. And then we connected several years later, after we've been like almost 20 years. And then since then, we started now talking, okay, we now join the board of trustees. And then one day, out of the blues, just made there's an opportunity in the US that he would like me to participate in that. He had done it himself using LRF, and he got it. He got a scholarship to come and do his training in Clinton School for public service using LRF, because LRF is a public focused organization. And he got a scholarship of $40,000 to boot. Wow. I mean, that he has done it and he's gotten it. I should try to. Oh, let me go to. That's how, and see, by reaching out to me, I now even did that. But I couldn't, unfortunately, when he come to me about it, I was in Nigeria. That thing didn't open. I think they didn't allow Nigerians to apply that year. So I couldn't apply from Nigeria then. I found myself in the UK the next year. So I applied. And lo and behold, I got the opportunity to come and do the program, the same program that he has done like 2-3 years ago, and he's out of it. So also got the opportunity to come, and I did it. And just by reaching out, oh, this is my friend, can we do this together? And then, one day he also called me, hey, he wanted to do this, his green card, blah, 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 needed, a lawyer, they have to all this immigration lawyer. They told him, okay, what he needed to do, how much he was going to pay. He applied for that process. The lawyer said, no, you can't get it. That you should forget it for now. That you should apply later. Then not come that he was going to do this thing on his own. That you can also still apply on your own. And so that's okay. He will need me to do this, do that for him. So he sent what I did all my own. I sent to him. Then some weeks ago, like 2 months ago, just call me early morning. Hey, what is it? Say he has gotten it. Lawyer told him that he can't get it, and he's got it. I was like, thank you, because I was one of those that did the reference for him. And I was like, that is how life works. You got to reach out to people. You need help, ask for help. You need resources, ask for resources. You need information, ask for information. Most of us, we think the only thing we can ask for is money. Forget it's not about money. And between all this time that we've been talking, no single dollar has exchanged hand between me and him. No single dollar or not single naira has exchanged hand. He has not given me money. I've not given him money. But see where he is, see where I am. So it's not just money. We limit ourselves when we think that the only help we can ask for people is money. It's not just about money. Help does not, when we restrict help to just money alone, we really lose so much. We lose so much. Everybody think of it, give me 1,000, give me 10,000. It's not. People can even give you information that can land you millions. Reach out. Don't say because this person, it looks like he doesn't have money. Let me not talk to him. Who says that the person doesn't know somebody that can give you money? That can even put you in fortune. And I have too many experiences, too many of them to give to us. It's not when you pursue money first, when you put money first, you lose so much more. When you put value first, you get so much more than money. So first we put money first. Money. Is it going to give money? Is it going to give money? Is it going to, and then we lose out so many things that money cannot even buy from the process. So when you reach out, don't reach out with the thinking of you will give him money, you will give him, or you reach out for information, reach out for scopes. What is happening in Nigeria? What is the next gig? Get substantial information. Help is not just in money alone. Reaching out is not just in money alone. And it's not even just people. You can reach out to information, Google information that you need. Type on Bing, type on Yandex, on any of those search engines, and you'll get enough information that will put you on the path of success. That will put you on the path of success. People know people. See, our biggest client is a single person. In Ready Writers or Theodore Consult, it's a single person. That person, from that person alone, over a period of 10 years, when I did calculation, we've made over 100 million naira from one person alone. I didn't know this person from Jack. I didn't know anybody around him, around her, but I worked somewhere. I wasn't being paid fantastic, but I was doing my work diligently. But I had access to information. So when I was starting the business, I had information of this person knows this person. And so, when we started, now we're sending out mails. We can do this, we can do that, blah, blah, blah. The person replied the mail. One of them, he replied the mail and then asked for a meeting, went to his house in Attorney where we had that meeting. He told himself his brother to this person. Oh, yeah, but I already knew, but I'm not to talk that I know that you are. And then we started talking after that. Then at some point, the sister now got some national assignment in Nigeria. And we can actually do this for your sister. Say, okay, send me a proposal. Send a proposal, nothing at all from that process. Until some months that I just call me, hey, but today you say you can do this thing, let's start. And we started. And from that, whatever, for over 10 years, over 100 million naira from one person. But it didn't start with money. It started with reaching out. Started with showing value, proving myself, showing what we can do, delivering what we are asked to. So let's not put money as the only thing we need to reach out for, please. To make our 2024 phenomenon, de-emphasize money, emphasize value. Then the last point, you need to launch out. See, if I say, see, guys, by tomorrow, I want to give every Nigerian $1,000. People will clap now, but until I do it, will it be reported by any newspaper? All of us, we have intentions. We have good things that we want to do. And nobody will celebrate you for your intentions. It's your actions, what you do that matters. So you've got to launch out. You've known that you need to step out of your comfort zone and you need to reach out to get help, get resources. Then when you've done that, please launch out. Don't stop there. And just like Linus and Kennedy told us, you've got to be consistent in action. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to be focused. You must have a sizable action quotient every day. Most of us, we don't do enough to merit a day. We don't do enough. You've got to put in the action. What constitutes action to you? An action to write a blog, it's action to write a quote, it's action to make calls, it's action to do a proposal, it's action to meet new people. What constitutes action towards success for you? You've got to have a sizable quotient of it. Is it to read? You've got to have all those things itemized, and then they are done. And then you've got to make every hour of your life to count in this 2024. As they say, don't grieve for anybody. Don't grieve for anybody. Don't grieve for laziness. Don't grieve for indolence. For indolence. Got to make your hours count. Don't paralyze your ideas, your initiative, or even your commitment to success by overanalysis. Some of us will start to overanalyze. If I do, I learned a very, very interesting principle last year here at Clinton School. I mean, they call it red work, blue work. Very interesting. It's a book. I've forgotten the title of the book now, but that book is one of the most interesting books I've read about leadership. Red work, blue work. I don't know if anybody have had that concept before. Red work are those people or people that do red work, people who work, and do not think. They are very high in activity, in doing, but less in thinking. Red work. There's nothing bad in working, but you've got to balance working or doing with thinking. And the blue work are those who are very, very intellectual. They like to think and think and think, and they plan, overplan, analyze, examine, evaluate, but they don't do the work. So for you to be able to be sustainably successful, you have to balance the two, to balance red work and blue work. Let your work be balanced, or your output be a reflection of both. Let it be a reflection of thinking and doing. You've got to balance red work and blue work, or blue work and red work, and you have to be tilting between the two. Before you start the red work, the doing, let there be a sizable thinking before you do. And once you have done, for some time, also pause to think and evaluate what you've done. Did I get it right? That is the way it works in life. When God was creating the heavens and the earth, as we read in the book of Genesis, you will see that at the end of the day, He will pause and evaluate. That's the way God also works. He will evaluate what He has done, and He will say, it's very good. Why did He just have to create heaven and earth? Let them be like, from light to just, it doesn't work that way. That is not a systemic way of working. It is not a reasonable way of working. You have to balance the thinking with working, then thinking and work. That's the way it should work. Blue work, red work, blue work, red. You have to follow that sequence. You can't just be doing blue work alone. You will not do anything. You can't just be doing red work alone. You will just crash, and then you will have liters of dirty works. And instead of waiting for a perfect time, you have to make the time perfect. Don't wait for, there's no perfect time. There's no perfect time for anything. Yeah, maybe there are right time, but there's no perfect time. That is also another thing that we used to just delay ourselves from. You can have right time. There's right when things should be done or to be done, but there's nothing like perfect. Perfection is an illusion. So don't say you're waiting for the perfect time. Because I said there's a right time doesn't mean that, okay, I'm waiting for a right time. I'm not using perfect time again. You've got to know when should you move, because you will never have all the information you need really to start. Mind you, you never have all the information you need. You will never have all the resources you need. You will never, if I was looking for all the money, I know when you say you want to start a business, you need that money. If I'm looking for all the money I would need, whenever I even started the business. And that's the truth. Even coming to the US, if I want all the money I would have, I needed to, will not I will come. There's not you that you have all the resources you need. Nothing. So don't say, okay, let me wait for the right time when I will get everything. You won't get it like that. I'm just using that to procrastinate and then to prolong the process. Don't let that be your case. Start with what you have, where you are, and then see what happens. So that is what we have for this. We have a drivers community. If you can join us, you can use this short link. HTTPS colon /bit.ly // drivers. I can join us here. I mean, we try to drop some of my quotes and other thoughts there on a daily or regular basis. This is like the long, whatever. So, as we have take home or take away that we need to, and please, let's note this. We discussed just these 3 steps because we are talking of something you don't need 21 things you need to do to become, to make it. You not even remember all of them, but you can easily remember that you need to step out, you need to reach out, and you need to launch out. So what do you plan to do in year 2024? I already have this project that I thought it was something else I was actually looking at, but now this one is becoming, hey, I need to do it this year. So do you propose to do it? And when do you plan to start? I don't know if any of you plans to, I mean, if you want to discuss that, but these are our takeaway from this session. What do you plan to do in 2024? If you've not given a serious thought, now is the time for you to start thinking, because, hey, we are talking, a month is already gone. January is already coming to an end. So we have between February and December. How do you supposed to do what you need to do? And when do you plan to start? And with that, I would like to take questions and answers from anyone. If you have these questions and response. If you have comments, if you disagree with the point, please just go ahead and say so, and then we'll look at why you disagree. Anyone willing to, you have questions, you have suggestions, you have addition, you have subtraction. If you have protest also, what do you mean? Why are you saying this? We can also discuss that as well. Waiting. Anyone, before we call it a day, I know it's getting, I said I still have another meeting to attend after this. Oh, somebody also say a closed mouth is a closed destiny. Wow.
No,
this
yes,
is my
sir.
wife. Yeah, this is my wife, Stella's iPhone. AJ, is that you?
No, Taganla is Barry speaking. They say like there's.
Sorry, I was looking at the comments. I have dropped a comment here, so I was trying to. Okay,
one thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. One thing we should just work with is we make no grief for anybody, but no grief for anybody simply means you should just grieve for positivities and not
exactly.
negative. Yes, sir. That whatsoever it is, just stay focused, like achieve what is achievable, as I would say.
Um,
Like now, the only thing make you no grief for be that.
mhm.
Thank you
Yeah,
very much, sir.
thank you
It's
very much,
always a
Linus.
pleasure.
No, that's also, we can use dogma. We now it's not good for anybody. If you have not, then you now start to misapply the tenet, and that also leads to frustration. So we have to be careful what we actually even we are professing or projecting. Thank you very much for that. Any other question, any other contribution, comments? If we have,
Thank you so much for the inspiring session. This is
thank
Islamia.
Islamia, yes, thank
I
you.
just want to, I think I just want to, I don't know how to feel about, I don't know how to feel about when you said you should always go out of your comfort zone. I know it is very good advice, but at what point do we stop? Like, do we just always go out of our comfort zone until we drop dead? Or is there a point where we just wind down and be like, okay, I am content. I just want to enjoy my life now. I'm not chasing anything again.
Thank you. You can't say that you are content. You can't be content at any point in life. You can only just rest to recalibrate and then strategize and launch again. That's the way life is meant to be. Though there's something they call atrophy. I mean, I don't know if you're in the physiology, whatever. I know some of us who don't know about human anatomy. A muscle that is not used becomes atrophied. Any talent, any skill that is not used become, just goes out of, you lose it. So coming out of your comfort zone means it's something that you always have to do, but it's not something you just do without thinking. And that is what I mentioned earlier, that we have to balance blue work, red work, blue work, red work. It has to be in sequence. So you've attained a certain level in your life. I'm not sure, maybe you will say you have it all. So what is next? Now, let's also be able to decipher what is greed from what is needed. Some people, because of greed, it's not as if they need that thing. Envy, oh, my friend is making it, or we human beings are, the Japa syndrome. That's, because my friend has traveled, me too, I should travel. Do you really have to travel? And I'm not a Japa. I hate that even when I hear Japas. Where are you Japa into? And because I'm here, I can. It's not. I didn't go when there was Japa syndrome. I didn't want to leave Nigeria. That's the truth. But as fate will have it, that thing was just beyond me, and I would just find myself moving from place to place. So it was totally beyond me. I knew this one had God in it. So you can't join the bandwagon mentality or movement because people are doing it. And that you now step out of your comfort zone. That will be stepping into discomfort, into regret. But in terms of maybe you attain a certain level in your professional journey, maybe I think you are seamstress from what you said, and you design stuff and all that. You have, I don't know how many, if you are doing boutiques or shops and all that. Oh, do I need to do more? Do I need to have more? If you don't even want to start talking in terms of infrastructures, how many people have you mentored to attain your skill? Because you always have to think in terms of contribution. Can I groom 5 people this year who would also attain my skill set? And what you are doing by that, you're actually improving the lot of those people, their family members, the economy of your locality, your state, and your nation in that concentric manner, going in bigger and bigger way as you mentor them. Oh, I've mentored 5 people. Can I move to 10? I know mentoring takes time. It takes a lot of resources from you. Oh, be able to service 20 clients in this first quarter. Can I increase that to 40 by next quarter? That is stepping out because okay, maybe resources you have now can only serve maybe 30. You want to take on much more. There are things you need to do to be able to accommodate those enlargement, those new horizons you want to explore. Those are the things when you're talking about going out of your comfort zone. Oh, I'm used to making 50,000 naira a month. Can I step it up to 60, 75? And those are the things to think about. So you move out from what you can comfortably achieve without even much effort, and let's do more. Let me engage more people. I know you say you have me too. I'm an introvert. I don't even talk much until you see me talking on Zoom. So you've got to step out of those comfort zones, those areas you've been exploring that are comfortable. Do more, be more. You have to do more. You have to be more to people. Be more. And you are a seamstress. Sorry, I think you are the fashion designer or so. Or if because I think from your introduction, I think I remember this your avatar. You sign up for writing internship. So you're actually trying to be more. You are now trying to be a writer or a professional writer. In addition to the current skills you already have, you're already stepping out of your comfort zone because in that writing program, you will be required to write. In fact, you can't stay in that program unless you are committed and disciplined about writing. So these are things that you do to step out of your comfort zone. So maybe it's not even the area, but they want to learn, they want to put themselves out there, put themselves in the ring and see what comes out of it. So that is the way it works. I'm seeing that there are some comments dropped in the okay. Is there any question here? Okay, achieve what is achievable. That's what Linus is just backing that up with a comment here that okay, no grief for anybody, achieve what is achievable. No question or comment from first from Kennedy. Thank you. Estaram, okay, I think Christopher is agreeing with Linus. Okay, Mary has dropped the link for us to join the drivers group. Use of journal is important. Thank you very much, Dari, for this in designing goals and tracking of progress or retrogression. Well, let me be. You will really retrogress, really. But at least you can track your progress. You can, if you are actually moving forward or you are stagnant, there will just be a stagnation because nobody really moves backward. People can just pass you. It's either you are still in the same spot or you are actually making progress, and progress can be baby steps or giant steps. So it depends on how you see that. This is what has always worked for me and my recommendation to everyone. Thank you very much, Dari, for that. And then Nuria said this session is interesting. Moving out of one's comfort zone is important for progress and development. Islam preaches it, yes, and the migration of Prophet Muhammad from Makkah to Medina is always cited as an example. It is known as Hura. Thank you very much for this very Islamic allusion, Nurat, and that is it, see, I even like the fact that Nurat is giving us, because we are very religious in Nigeria. Maybe until somebody is preaching it from church or from mosque, we don't believe, even though those are not our original religion. So now he's giving us the example of comfort zone. Prophet Muhammad had to move out of his comfort zone. It wasn't easy, but he had to do it. And another thing I can also remember is that of Abraham. Abraham was even crazy. Say, come out, leave your father, leave your mother to a place that will show you, a place he didn't even know. And he had to move out, travel several days. So from a religious perspective, we already have one that speaks to the Islamic folks and then the ones that speaks to the Christian folks. you have to move. I will come to you, Priska, shortly. Yes, I think Dari was asking if Maka was a comfort zone. Obviously, it would be for him to move from that place to another place. It was total. Okay, I think Torat and Darian have a role in this chat. So, Priska, let's hear from you, please. You have a question? Please go ahead and ask.
Greetings, everyone. I'm sorry I didn't start at the exact time because I went for prayers. So
Okay.
actually, from the 3 steps at least, I was able to follow up. There are really essential things one need to do in order to succeed. Because at least I still use myself as an example. Because one is that whatever you're doing in life, don't wait until you become a genius or become perfect in that particular thing.
Very
Most
good.
times, one of the main challenges many people do have is that either because of language or means of expression, they feel somehow intimidated when maybe they try to equal themselves with other people, forgetting the fact that the capacity of everyone is not the same. It might be that maybe in your use of English, you might not be other too perfect. But in that your imperfection, just at least we can see from some of the Nollywood actors that most times, even in using the pidgin English or the slangs, they're able to make their audience and make their fans more entertaining than even those that speak the Queen's English. So what I feel that at least one of the steps that need to be added is be yourself. Because when you are yourself, at least you value yourself, your identity, you don't have that identity crisis. And in that means, at least you know that whatever you're doing is just very original of yourself. You're not copying anybody because life is unique and you are never in competition with anybody. So use your talent the way you feel that is best for you because once you're being inspired, just go ahead and do it. And with time, you'll be able to perfect as you journey along. Thanks for your time and thanks for with everyone that is in the group. God bless us.
Thank you very much, Priska, Sister Priska, for joining us from Italy, I believe. I mean, I think she just said it all, and I like the fact that you're also adding another dimension to it. Okay, be yourself. Even if you step out of your comfort zone, you've got to be yourself. And you know, one of the things I believe is that being ourselves can be pretty crazy. The world we all live in wants us to conform. The world is conformist in the way it's set up. Religious, our religious beliefs, religious institutions, there are rules, there are norms. Society has norms that govern the way we are expected to think, to believe, and to do. So to be yourself is a very, very important charge, but it's not always doable. It's not everybody that have the heart or the stamina to be themselves. Because in a world that wants you to conform, to belong, so that, this is the way you are thinking, this is the way the world wants you to think, it takes boldness, it takes courage to be able to go against the grain and you won't be labeled as a rebel. But once you know what is right for you, what you are trying to achieve, and it's not hurting anyone, it's not demeaning anyone, it's not causing a loss to any entity, then you should please, as you do all this stepping out, reaching out, launching out, do them in the confines of your own identity. This is who I am. Be yourself doing those. That don't join the bandwagon, don't do them because every other person is doing them. Don't subscribe to this because every other person is subscribing. That you will just become part of the crowd. When you do things that speaks to your originality, that speaks to your own personality, you get to flourish because the best you can be is actually yourself. You can't be best at being somebody else. So please, it's very important that we take note of this. Thank you very much, Sister Priska, for that very insightful comment. Do we have any other question? Any other person willing to share with us before we call it a night? Now, it's nice having you guys around today. Enjoyed this conversation myself and hearing from our different perspectives. Thanks for coming, Alimat, Adigun, Mary, Adasa. Also have Stella, my wife, at the other side there. Kehinde Amos, Chioma, Christopher, Nura, Dare, Linus, Chinyere. Okay, see, I said, you'll be telling me that you and my wife shares a name, Aisha and Islamia and Aisha from Unilag, I believe. Thanks for coming tonight. See you guys next month when we have the next edition of Thrive. From here, have a fantastic remainder of January and a wonderful and fulfilling February. Bye.
Thank you very much, sir.